Okay, I wanted to react to this video. Let's go.
So it is so important that at this step we really take a good moment to stop and really inquire within ourselves, to ask ourselves, what is really gonna make me happy? Like really make me happy, like give me childlike happiness, not the stereotypical happiness that we see on, I don't know, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or something like that.
I really hated that some people really think that every woman is happy being a housewife or things of that nature, to a wealthy man or whatever. What if it feels debilitating to someone, or it feels like the man controls you, or you don't, you don't want to rely on him like that? That just feels so like you were made for more than just something as simple as that in life. I don't know, it's almost like a mentality that men are only important in this world and women are just supportive individuals, which some people are good that way because maybe that's all they're worth and maybe that's all that they're really meant for in this world. But not everybody, and you can't really just say that for one particular sex. That's painting us all with a very broad brush. But anyway, continue.
Who says that is to be successful? Define your own success and go after it. By the way, if you find this to be a little bit overwhelming or complicated, then don't worry because I'm actually going to invite you to join me for an in-depth training that is absolutely free of charge because I really want to help as many of you ladies as possible to get started with your dream lives, to really achieve your goals and make yourself happen and to reinvent yourself. So make sure you register for this free class after this video. Go to fabulousfutureformula.com and take part of this free training. Step number 3, purge of what's holding you back. Now, ladies, it's time to let go and have a little cleanse. Because when we want to level up and when we want to reinvent ourselves, we first have to let go of any negativity to really make space for the new you to step in and manifest. We need to take out the trash. And first, we're gonna take out your internal trash. We kind of have been dabbing into this already a little bit in step 1 and 2, but now we're really going to go all in. Whatever internal trash you currently have, whether that is lack of confidence, whether that is limiting beliefs, negative self-talk, you name it, insecurities. At this point, you need to just figure out, okay, what is going to hold.
So many of what she's saying right there, for me, it doesn't hit home, really, but it kind of hits home in the other respect, okay? Like the opposite way. Oh, my head hurts. Yeah, like specifically to me, I kind of feel like, for me, I don't talk negatively to myself. I guess internally, I guess you could say. I don't think negatively about myself. I don't have insecurities in regards to who I am as a person. My thing is my perspective of everybody else, which is specifically very negative, like extremely negative. And when you think of it that way, it's kind of like, now this has affected me at my past jobs, in a sense, because of how I socialize with people. I kind of feel like people are bad. Now, the reason why I think people are bad, anyone in my situation and in my shoes would think people were bad. Everyone, for that matter. I would just think people were bad people. For me, growing up, I always was told, like, how people are hateful, they'll hate you, they'll never like you, and all this stuff. For me, I never internalized it, because I never thought, like, how can you dislike someone without knowing them? How can that be my fault? To me, it's like, well, it's not my fault because you don't even know me. So it's your fault for being such a rotten person. So to me, in my perspective, I've always thought that people were rotten and that like people were bad and disgusting. And not just that they're bad and disgusting, because, hey, they're about people who at least they're smart, okay? At least they're smart people who aren't manipulated, aren't friendly with people who treat them like crap and say they deserve the death penalty. Literally. They aren't stupid on top of it, at least. They're bad people who aren't stupid. They're smart. They're at least able to judge character a little bit better. They won't just be, kissing the feet and the butt and everything of people who literally want the worst for them and want them literally to be better off dead rather than anything. Like, literally hate them and only think their only use in life is to specifically manipulate them, mold them into what they want, and basically serve them because they are an inferior human being. And to me, this is my perspective of other people and other situations. And from my perspective, it's kind of like, I do understand that some people have this mentality where they need to be controlled and they need to be manipulated and all that stuff because they're a lower IQ individual. And most people's IQ is below 100. So that is a low IQ compared to me because my IQ is well above 100. But for this reason, the reason I feel this way is for two reasons. One, because, like I said, I was kind of taught that people would be hateful to me, don't like me, and all this bullshit. And then on top of it, I would see, like, people who were manipulative, who were looked down on other people, and how they basically would use people for their own benefit and mold them into what they want to benefit them, and these dumb people would do it, and then they would go behind their backs and talk crap about them and talk about how they should die and how they were disgusting, how their mere existence bothered them. I mean, when I'm saying this, I mean, like, for example, a gay person. A gay person is specifically really, really, really nice to someone who is extremely homophobic, right? And they give them as much of everything that they can give them, okay? Say it's in a workplace. They will promote them to everything that they can promote them to. Say it's a friend or something. They will give them as much money. They will try to help them in any way they can. This is all you're doing for someone who freaking hates you, who would really literally say that homosexuals like that person should be put to death, right? And that dumb homosexual is doing everything they can for that homophobe that wants them to be put to sleep. That's how I feel about people. Is that, like, I see that often. I'm not just saying gay people. That was just one example. But you see this often where the dumbest, like, a dumb person will do everything for the person that hates them. You're such a dumb person who cannot even tell your own, like, you can't tell character well enough where you're veering towards people who freaking hate you, doing your best by them, and really angry and hateful towards people who don't have anything against you. Then to me, from my perspective, it's like, well, you only want people who specifically, can manipulate you, use you, don't like you, and want the worst for you, basically. And in my experience, that's why for me, since I feel like slow people, often do this, and that, like, the only way to kind of, like, be amicable with those type of people is to specifically, try to maneuver them or manipulate them because that's what they want in their lives. Then it's like, from my perspective, I don't really wish to specifically associate with such an individual. An individual that doesn't have any respect for themselves, and an individual that is so dumb they cannot even have a good judge of character. They're gravitating to people that aren't going to do them any benefit. And like this transfers into my last job that I quit, that was consistent, that I was consistently into. Like, I have 2 jobs now and they're consistent, but I have this mentality. One job I kind of have it like where I don't care what they think, because I made it where I wanted to have a situation where we don't like each other. And like, because I already assumed they didn't like me, I wanted them to know that I didn't like them, right? So then our kind of like work relationship is where we both hate each other. But let's just get the job done. I get some money. I mean, it's a lot of money per hour anyway, so why not just a couple hours out of the week and be done with it? That's kind of how that situation is. I'm not looking for more than that, and it's perfectly fine that way. But the last job that I had outside of Night Flirt or anything like that, because I currently work at Night Flirt right now, before all of those positions, I specifically had a job where I specifically wanted to be like promoted. I wanted to go to certain projects and so forth, and that was for a short time period. And I saw specifically the same thing I'm saying with the gay person, where they pull out the rug and do everything for people who are going to leave them in a month, who don't show up for work, who don't care about the job, who don't have good production, but they're still going to give you a whole bunch of hell just for existing and having the desire to actually want to work and work every day, right? So that, for me, gets into my mentality of not caring, okay? Because my mentality becomes, well, at the end of the day, all I want is money, and at that job, I like doing my work too. So it's like, I can do my work. But other than that, I'm not really looking to do anything else. So I'm not trying to present well. And that's why, to me, it's like first impressions don't matter. Because my mentality is that I think you fucking hate me anyway. What the fuck do I care what you think about first impressions? What the fuck do I care about first impressions if you hate me anyway? I don't like you anyway. Because why would I like you when you literally dislike people you don't even know? You're a stupid motherfucker who likes people who don't even like you, who fucking hate you, who fucking use you, who fucking think you're stupid and think that you're meant to be used. And so to me, it's like, if I was to genuinely want to get to know you or to be amicable with you, I would have to go under the guise of not realizing exactly what kind of person you are and seeing your own actions. So that's why, for me, with presentation, like impressions and things like that, it's like hard for me to specifically really care. You could say with my videos, for one, like first impressions, appearance, and things of that nature, I never care. I never care because I already assume what I just said a second ago. But like the people watching, what do I care? I don't really care about what you think. I just care that I wanted to say whatever the fuck I wanted to say. I don't know. That's just my perspective on things. It's just like, I have always had that mentality where I've always thought people were bad. So it's like I have a bad self-talk about others. And the reason I have that is because I never had that much interaction with people growing up. I've only heard what people are like when I was a kid, because I dealt with a lot of isolation up until I was like 18. Then when I was 18, I finally got to see people and how they were, and it was just like, yeah, you really are really bad. You're dumb, you're bad, you're stupid, and you don't have a good discernment of judgment of other people. You give your all to people who fucking hate you. You're a dumbass, you know? And the only purpose you have is to be fucking used. I don't even like using people or manipulating people. So to me, it's like, you're not even worth that to me. So, you know, that's why for me it's like all the interactions I've had with people have been negative. So then it solidifies what I was already taught, that people were bad, basically, that people were stupid, that people were messed up, you know. But yeah, but it does, to me, it's like a thing where, like, you do have to care a bit if you want certain things in life, like my last job with promotion and so forth. Caring about how they felt and my impression, my appearance, and so forth, I felt like, well, if I could have been in their good graces, I'm pretty sure I would have gone further. Even though I didn't do too poorly, I made $3 million for the company because, for me, like I said, I don't internalize any issue, and I don't really believe I do have a personal issue because I interact with people just fine on the phone. So I know it's not me. I know it's other people's reaction. So then it's like, to me, like I said, it's hard for me to have an internal negative view, but it's easy for me to have an external negative view of people, which can hinder a lot of other types of occupations I might want to choose, you know. But yeah, anyway, continue.
Hold my transformation back if I don't first attend to this. This is why I want to take out the trash first before we go into the next step where we're actually going to be adding things into your life. Internal trash is best taken out with education, therapy, or any other kind of self-improvement methods that work for you. Reading books really helps a lot, also taking courses. But most importantly, working with self-awareness. Without self-awareness, you're never going to be able to identify what is actually holding you back and what kind of internal trash do you have. Then we have the external you. And a lot of people really think that when we are doing a reinvention,
That's the thing. I guess maybe Ian, at different interactions like first impressions and so forth, being self aware would be helpful if I cared to change it. But to me, it's like, well, if you want to gather certain things about me off of a first impression, then you're the dumbest motherfucker I've ever met because anyone can have any type of first impression. Anyone can present themselves anyway. And if you're dumb enough to think that a first impression is what defines you, then you're a dumb person who is gullible, who then gets manipulated by the next person who actually does care about tricking you and treating you badly and basically, using you in any capacity that they can, you know. So to me, it's just like, I don't know. It's hard for me to care. It really is. And that's why to me, it's like maybe entrepreneurship is a thing that I need to really get into because I don't like people like that. I don't like to depend on people like that because I feel like, I like, because of my negative views towards other people, basically, in general.
identify what is actually holding you back and what kind of internal trash do you have. Then we have the external you. And a lot of people really think that when we are doing a reinvention, that it's usually just about the kind of external glow up. And even though I would say the glow up is oftentimes quite important because the glow up gives you a lot of confidence and it's there to actually support you in your goals. Not all reinventions need to have a glow up. Sometimes we do some big reinventions like our entire life, inner outer life, but sometimes
I think, like, if you care about your outer, you care about your inner and everything and things of that nature, that is helpful. I do agree with that with the glow up. to some extent.
We just reinvent some specific parts of our life, let's say. So no glow up is therefore needed. But if you want to do an external you transformation, then of course you should.
Guess what my most requested hyper-realistic cake is? It is a
Sorry
cake
about that.
of a cake. That's right. I've been asked to make a cake of a cake by hundreds, maybe thousands.
Plan a little go. Step number 4. Specific parts of our life. No glow up is therefore needed. But if you want to do an external transformation, then of course you should plan a little glow up transformation in, and that means basically presentation. It can also be certain parts of you. Let's say I polished up my old habits, how I carry, how I present myself, how I dressed. Okay, the list can go on. Or first impressions. Transformation in, and that means basically improve your presentation. It can also be improve certain parts of you. Let's say I polished up my old bad habits in terms of how I carried myself, how I presented myself, how I dressed. Okay, actually the list can go on. But it could also be beauty or first impressions or your overall elegance or your body language, your deportment, how you walk, talk, move, hold yourself. There's a lot you can do in the external you department, and I can tell you that not everything is going to be needed. Over the years, I have really realized that we don't have to do everything at once. What is important for success is to prioritize right, to see what goals are the most urgent, what can wait, and what are like sub tasks that will support that goal that I should also do, kind of level up or reinvent or whatever, that will support that goal and is high on the priority list.
I like that there are different goals to it, so then it doesn't seem so overwhelming, honestly. But yeah, I definitely agree with everything she's saying here. Like, I do feel like, as far as like, not always needing to, figure it all out right away, specifically. Like, you wouldn't, like, if you have a plan first. Oh, sorry. Yeah, but if you were to work on it one by one until you become exactly that successful person, you can have like a plan and to start to figure out what you want the end result to be, what you have to do in the meantime, and what like is a priority and what you need to work on until you get to that point. So I do definitely agree with that.
The last trash that you should be taking out is, of course, the external trash around you, which can literally be like actual trash, like you need to declutter, let's say. But for many people, it's usually, getting out of bad relationships or getting rid of toxic friends or cutting with toxic family members. The point is that you should be executing everything that's currently not working in your life, everything that has a negative influence in your life, before you move to the last step of adding. You're going to see how rating it's going to be.
Yeah, especially since anything toxic would ruin anything that you add to your life in the first place. So that definitely makes sense.